I'm Aaron Taylor Johnson, and this is how I became Kraven the Hunter.
Охотник до сказки.
The exciting thing about this is there's so much source material to go from. I mean, we've got comic books that date back to 1964 all the way through. There's animation, there's the gaming world, all of that you accumulate and more, right? And you have a responsibility, you know, it's got that Marvel stamp of approval, and I hold that as a very high standard. And the audience want to see that. They want to see that physical transformation. So put on about 40 pounds of muscle. I was literally 200 pounds to look like this guy. That's the costume. But then more than that, there's like layers of complexity and depth and emotion. We really want to empathize with this guy. It was kind of just filling that world and going into the world of becoming a hunter, being around wild animals, seeing all that sort of different side of things. And also he's Russian, you know? So we actually speak Russian. I actually speak Russian in the movie because it just felt like it's just another little piece to feel like it's grounded. I mean, what we wanted to do is really give it sort of levity and humility to it that felt raw. So when you see them in this action, it really feels like you're gripping hold of your seat, you know?
I heard the noise of thunder.
Are you like your father? A gangster? A killer?
I feel like there really is a difference between the two, Sergei and Kraven the Hunter. I feel like he's becoming Kraven the Hunter the further he goes down this path of destruction. And is it his moral compass taking him there? You know, he's trying to protect the loved ones around him, but is he putting him in harm's way, or is he doing them a favor? It's the thing that he's got to battle with. And is he, yeah, which one is he really kind of becoming more of? I mean, the beautiful thing about this is that it's always been a collaborative process. And we had Sammy Sheldon, a costume designer who's fantastic, who I've worked with famously. She did Kick-Ass, actually. One of the big things for me, and I think for key audiences that are huge fans of the comic book, is the iconic silhouette and the lion vest. It became a huge discussion of how to incorporate that into the movie, and I don't want to give anything away at all, but it really has found its own story and journey, and I think we've worked really hard at that, and I'm very proud of how we've kind of pulled that into it in a way that feels like it's needed to be earned in a way. But the big thing for me when I first looked at it, the costume was basically my body, and it was like I just saw like these giant arms and shredded six-pack, and I thought, oh, okay, you can't hide that. That's kind of is what it is. There's no, there's no padding out anything, which I've been on some other Marvel movies, man, and let me tell you, those costumes have pads in them. In this instance, I could not hide behind that, but that was part of the job.
My son, never show mercy. They are prey.
Yeah, the way he fights in this movie, and it was something that we really wanted to give this character a real signature style. So he stands out from any other comic book character that you've seen on screen. He moves so agile and fluid like an animal, and the way I sort of bounce off of the walls, I did a lot of quadruped training, meaning I could go on all fours. I did parkour, gymnastics, all these things that allowed him to move in a way that feels like so dynamic, and he's so unpredictable. No one is expecting the way he moves, the way he can get around people. So it's that was a detail. There was many details in there. Even when I run, I kind of run with claw fists open. They're really subtle. You don't notice them necessarily, but you know there's something a little bit different. That was exciting to put into this character. It's those little nuances that just make it stand out. I feel like we throw everything at this character. There's nothing that really, you know, we didn't hold back when it came to the stunts in this movie. You can see Kraven in his element in the forest using bow and arrow, spear, knives, you name it. Like, he's really good with tools. But then we take him out of his habitat and then put him straight in the urban environment with nothing but bare hands and bare feet, and he will still cause havoc. You know, it's definitely man against machine and like smashing into double-decker buses and outrunning cars. It's so great to kind of take a character like that and strip him of all his tools and still see how kind of vicious and he can be. There's a whole sequence that takes place in a Turkish monastery down a corridor where he takes out about 10 guys, and it's kind of mad and wild and brilliant and fast, and it's like vicious and dynamic in a way that I haven't really sort of seen that. It's exciting. The stunts are completely different to anything I've done before because I've never really had an opportunity with a character like this before, firstly. And then secondly, we had an incredible stunt team, and it takes a brilliant stunt team to feel like they can embrace me into that and become a part of that and trust, right? I have to train with those guys. You know, we have 5 Kraven stunt doubles. You know, we had an incredible stunt coordinator, Eunice, who really believed and trusted in the way that I could move. So when you have that opportunity and that dynamic, it's like we really want to utilize that and use it. And I got to use it with this character, and I think the payoff is 1,000 times better because you don't need to cut, you don't need to hide. We can really show some really rough dynamic stuff. To be able to have that physicality that I brought to this was a big part of the character, so I needed to be able to do some of that stuff. There are some really exciting comic books out there that Kraven appear in, and I wouldn't be lying if I said they would be exciting prospects to do, but I'm very proud of this movie that we made, and I'm super excited to share it with the world. And I feel like it's a character that we've put so much into that he has the ability to have that longevity, to be able to go from this movie. The journey doesn't sort of end here. It almost starts here, and it's got the legs to go on. So there is some great stuff out there, some exciting stuff that I'd like to be a part of. But really, it's down to the viewers, man. And I mean that in the best way. It's like watch this, and then if they go, oh my, I want to see that character against this one, that would be a movie. And I think that's where we need to take it, The exciting thing is to come see this movie, see the stunts and the action in this, and know that we did not hold back. It's got fury and rage and all of the elements that this character carries with him, but he's an empathetic character, and he is just relentless and defiant and courageous. And I think if you see the dynamic in which he fights, I think that would be kind of interesting to see what that looks like up against some superheroes that we might want to see.